I want to share how somebody could be living a healthy looking life on the outside, right? But on the inside, they're truly torn apart or just a mess, right? Emotionally and spiritually, and maybe even physically as well. So, from the people that I've spoken to, this seems to be a very common contradiction that they're living, right? At work, they're this well put together person. Maybe they get compliments, they get questions about how they could become like them, they get compliments on how strong of a person they are, of how sure of themselves they seem, and how professional they are. But then as soon as they go home and they're alone and all of the professional settings are gone, right? Maybe the kids are put to sleep. Maybe they're just in their room by themselves. It's as though the true internal feelings that they've been carrying are come out, right? And they find themselves crying, they find themselves spiraling, they find themselves very anxious, very depressed about how they're feeling, right? And a lot of the times what I've found is that those compliments and all of the positives that they get from others are very difficult for them to accept, as that's not how they see themselves. They don't see themselves as worthy of that, right? And I'm speaking from being knowledgeable in emotional neglect, right, and distant parents, as that's the type of people I've been speaking to. So I believe that that becomes ingrained from a young age, and it just transforms and continues on into later adulthood as this emptiness that they carry with themselves, right? They were never able to develop that core connection with a parent, that understanding, that empathy, compassion that is required for somebody to be able to look within and at least try and connect with their emotions, right? And understand themselves and how those thoughts can be very overpowering if you don't address those emotions right at that time, if you're not guided, if you're not taught, if you're not at least able to get them out of you. So then later on in life, that internalized low self-worth just becomes this contradiction that you're living, right? Where you on the outside seem perfectly okay to others, but inside you still feel this emptiness, this destroyed sense of self internally, right? So that seems to be one of the biggest goals of people that I talk to, right? Is to reach a place of internal peace, internal compassion for themselves, right? Peace of mind. And of course, everybody's able to find that in certain instances in life, whether it's on hikes out in nature, whether it's going to the gym. Everybody has moments of that. But whenever they're by themselves again alone, and that's when all this stuff starts bubbling up again. So those are just signs that there's a lot of things to work on and to work through and to truly question about why you're feeling this way. So honestly, this is a side of therapy that I love, as people start to find new ways of thinking. They start to disassociate from thoughts that they've had for a long time. They don't truly make their identity a part of those thoughts anymore. And they see how they've been talking to themselves or thinking about themselves for so long, and how that's been just snowballing into this emptiness over time. So it's very empowering, and I love seeing that in people as they either break into tears and they just feel like a load is lifted off of their shoulders. They finally let go of that knot in their throat. They just start to see life in a different way, right? And of course, everything is a journey. Everything takes time to truly heal through, but now they at least have the path in front of them to how they can overcome this emptiness, this contradiction that they've been living for so long. And if this is something that you're struggling with or have been struggling with, then hopefully all these videos I make about emotional neglect and living with emotionally distant parents connects with you, and you can start to see how that became these subconscious beliefs and these internalized beliefs that you have about yourself, and they just simply transform into other things later on in life, and they truly affect your relationships, whether you're able to even be in healthy relationships. They affect your ability to be creative. A lot of people lose their sense of creativity, being in touch with their creativity, whether it's writing, art, dance, whatever it could be, right? Music. They start to see it affect a lot more areas of their life. And it's very difficult. It's very draining to live that kind of contradiction in life. So hopefully you can make that choice to finally reach out and overcome this in your life. And it's going to be difficult, awkward at first, but if you've never done anything like this, but I promise it's going to lead to a more fulfilling life, one where you're able to tap into that mental peace of mind much more often and with much more compassion for yourself. So I hope this inspires you to finally take action and break that contradiction in your life.